there, it's a brand new show for you. It's Boxing with the Goose. Yes, boxing headlines. I know you guys and gals like to keep up on the boxing world, not just, welterweight and Manny, Pacquiao and all the excitement there, but you want to keep track of what's happening in all different weight classes, and I'm here to help you with that. I am the Goose. Glad to have you join me, and our first story comes from the BBC, and it involves the heavyweight division. I know you guys are waiting for this big fight. And I'm going to read it to you. It's Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. It looks like this one's a go. That's according to promoter Bob Arum. The all-British bout between the 32-year-old WBC champion Fury and the 31-year-old Joshua, who holds the IBF, WBO, and WBA titles, will see all four belts contested in a heavyweight fight for the first time. This is exciting. After Joshua beat Pulev in December, his promoter, Eddie Hearn, said the fight could be sorted out in 2 days. And of course, Fury's promoter, Bob Arum, said all the points have now been agreed. And when asked if the fight was on, the American promoter said, quote, "Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that's what each side has said. Now we're scrambling around to get the thing signed and everything. But I can say clearly, based on my view of everything, there are no more issues." And is this exciting? Yes. I'm a big fan of both these guys, and they both, I don't want to say they were humbled recently, but they were reminded that the boxing world is not all about them, and you got to bring your A game. You remember Tyson Fury, he's undefeated. The Gypsy King is 30-0, but there's one draw. Remember? Deontay Wilder, a little while back, the great American knockout artist, fought a draw with him. A lot of folks thought Fury won that fight, but be that as it may, Fury exacted his revenge a short time later and scored a TKO of the great Wilder, and now he is still holds one title. That's the WBC heavyweight title, but he is also known as the lineal heavyweight champion. Why? Because he was the undisputed heavyweight champion years ago. He lost the belts because of inactivity, but again, he hasn't been defeated. So Tyson Fury remains the lineal heavyweight title holder. And tell you what, a bout between he and Anthony Joshua would be great. Joshua's only lost once. That was to Andy Ruiz a short time ago, and that was a TKO, and he exacted revenge as well, beating Andy Ruiz and then winning a couple more fights. So it looks like this fight is a go. It's going to be Anthony Joshua against Tyson Fury for the undisputed, when's the last time you heard that? Undisputed heavyweight title, and we'll keep you updated with that fight. Our next story from the boxing world is another bout in the heavyweight division. We mentioned Andy Ruiz Jr. A few minutes ago in his battle with Anthony Joshua. Well, he's trying to get back his heavyweight title. A new story from Jason Delhan, a senior boxing analyst, says Andy Ruiz Jr. confirms he's set to face Chris Areola in his comeback. Chris Areola on Randy Ruiz Jr., quote, "We all know what Mexican fighters bring to the table. No truer words have been said. They bring nonstop excitement. We just come forward and we just love to fight." All right, here's the latest. Andy Ruiz will return to the ring to face Chris Areola on April 24th in his first fight since losing to Anthony Joshua. The Mexico's first heavyweight champion posted on social media, quote, "We back," in reference to his long-awaited comeback. Now, Ruiz Jr. has revamped in preparation by joining trainer Eddie Reynoso, who resides over a stable including Canelo, Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, and Oscar Valdez. He has not been to the ring since December 2019 in Saudi Arabia when he was outpointed in a rematch with Joshua. 6 months earlier, he had shockingly stopped Joshua to claim the IBF, WBA, and WBO belts, but later admitted that partying was meant he was just not prepared for a second fight. Ruiz Jr.'s next opponent, Areola, age 39, has won 38 of 47 fights. He's been stopped by Vitaly Klitschko and Yeah, Deontay Wilder. Many people who have fell to him. Areola previously told Sky Sports, quote, the only fight for me that's very enticing, not only to myself, but also for boxing fans. I think the boxing fans will love a boxing fight with two Mexican heavyweights that are going at it. And that, I'm very interested in that. You know, Areola, he's lost a few times, but a lot like Manny Pacquiao, he's a true fighter. Don't count a few losses against him because he's fought the best of the best. And you lose a few fights, well, you're at the top of the game fighting the best. So, you know, we don't hold that against you. Quite the contrary, we put that as a big plus in your column. And Andy Ruiz Jr., he has undergone a metamorphosis. Is that a word? Yeah. He has gotten very serious about training now after that loss to Joshua. He's lost a lot of weight, and he's training hard. He's taken the fight seriously. He's taken his career seriously, and he is a force to be reckoned with. Another interesting fight coming up. It's going to be Billy Joe Saunders against Canelo Alvarez, two title holders. Billy Joe Saunders says no excuses, win or lose against Canelo Alvarez. The super middleweight title holder heads into his biggest fight ever. The same old Billy Joe Saunders as ever. He's quoted as being a trash talker and a persistent jackass. Well, that's okay. Saunders said he didn't know exactly when or where he'll be battling the Mexican who holds the WBC and WBA belts at 168, while the 31-year-old Saunders is undefeated as well. He holds the WBO title. He says, quote, I think obviously everyone knows I've got to be at my best. He answered then went into some strong sarcasm, but I'm pushing for time now. 10 days off training. I've got the flu, not in shape. I'm still heavy. Haven't started camp proper yet. It's going to be a walk in the park for Canelo. By all means. He said he's going to knock me out in 3 rounds. I'm going to have to go with that. Let him knock me out in 3 rounds and then get some In-N-Out burger for me, yeah? All right, well, Billy Joe Saunders loves to have fun, but I'll tell you what, Billy Joe, even though you're undefeated and you're a champion, you've got your hands full against Canelo Alvarez. He's only lost, once? Yeah, that's to Floyd Mayweather Jr., and he has a draw on his record as well. That will be a great fight. I'm not going to make it a prediction now. Oh, yeah, I will. Billy Joe Saunders, you're going to suffer your first defeat. You go toe-to-toe. You try and challenge Canelo Alvarez in a fight as opposed to boxing. You know the difference. You're going to lose. Canelo Alvarez is going to win that fight. And our final story, let the trash talking begin. That is for Mikey Garcia. Even though the fight has not been finalized, we think it might happen. That would be Mikey Garcia against the great Manny Pacquiao for a share of the world welterweight title. You know, Mikey Garcia has only lost once, and that was to Errol Spence Jr., but it was an embarrassment. Other than that, Mikey Garcia is a great fighter, great champion. He's only fought twice, though, at the welterweight division. He won his last bout, so he's 1-1. But first, I'll give you a quote from another welterweight, or actually a lightweight. That's Virgil Ortiz Jr. No, he's a welterweight. Virgil Ortiz Jr. said, quote, Mikey Garcia's going to smoke Manny Pacquiao. Smoke. Virgil Ortiz Jr., I think you've been smoking something. If you think anybody's going to smoke Manny Pacquiao, good luck with that. And Mikey Garcia said, gave us a couple of quotes. Number one, Pacquiao is looking for a low-risk, high-reward fight. Okay, well, I agree with you that fighting you, Mikey Garcia, would be low risk. I don't think he was talking about him, but he did start with a little trash talking. He said that he's going to bet $2 million on himself if he fights Manny Pacquiao. I'm not sure if that's legal or not, but, well, even if it is, you're going to lose $2 million, Mikey Garcia. You know, those two sparred several years ago, briefly. And even now, Mikey Garcia says, I was too quick for him. He couldn't catch me. We'll see about that, won't we, if that fight comes to fruition. He will catch you, Mikey Garcia, and it's going to hurt. One last note for you. We keep hearing this name, both of the brothers actually, Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Got nothing against these guys, okay? They're successful, they make lots of money, blah, blah, blah. Good for you. But Jake Paul, who is a former Disney star, yeah, Jake Paul, I'm just going to have fun with you now, okay? Don't take it personally. Jake Paul, you've made millions of dollars entertaining teenage girls, you know, on Disney and on YouTube. And you're a boxer. Oh, a professional boxer, Jake Paul. You're 2-2 with 2 knockouts. Jake Paul, 24 years old, 6'1", 169 pounds. Now, Jake, I don't like to, it's been a while since I fought. I can fight. I challenge you. Okay? And, you know, I would say I'll do it for free, but you're worth $11.5 million. I'll do it for that 0.5, okay? Just a $500,000. I challenge you. I call you out, Jake Paul. I'll fight you. Yeah, I'm old enough to be your grandpa. And I'll beat the snot out of you. I'll beat you like a naughty stepchild. Bring it on, Jake Paul. Come on now. Don't duck me. Don't duck the old man. I'll fight you. Come on now. Let me hear from you or your fans. I don't care. I'll have fun with you. That'll be a great time. Okay, just having fun. Well, maybe not. I'll let you decide that. Okay, that's it. It's Boxing with the Goose, boxing headlines. We'll keep you up to date on all the great latest boxing news. You guys stick with me, all right? Take care.